Morning, morning. Who we got here this morning? The usual suspects. Tonight's test paper. What have I got for that? Okay, tonight we have finished, in quotation marks, 6 plates for the Octopus print. Time to get busy on number 7. I made a trip out to Ome yesterday to go to the storage locker and try and find the blocks. And here we are. This is the last block for the Octopus print. And I've got to make the transfer sheet that goes on it. Yesterday's stream doing that hot water job with the backing removal of those prints. You know, I knew I was going to get in trouble, and I did. Emails yesterday, you know. Different kinds of emails. The first one, I'd barely finished the stream. I opened my computer, and it said, "I've got this print. It's got backing paper on. I want to try it. I'm going to try it. Should I do this?" You know? All I've got to say is no, no, no. Please do not try it yourself if you don't know what you're doing. Then there was another email. I noticed at X minutes and X seconds you seem to have damaged one of the prints. And yes, I did damage one of the prints yesterday. It's not a 100% secure process. This is why I tell people, don't do it by yourself. Okay, just a tiny tab of pigment here. Cameron has another automated email set to write. I don't know what to read that. anything is yet on this picture. This is going to be so much fun printing this. We're getting closer now. After years of work on this, I can feel it. We're getting closer. Okay, now we got to figure out what zone we want. This is going to be the block for the background. So part of it's a no-brainer up here, obviously. This area is included around to the rocks. But what happens in places like this? I'll zoom in a bit. The block we're going to carve is the block for the background area. But what do? When we get up to these little anemone things, are they included in the background or not? It's really hard to tell. It looks like it comes right around them up and into the area. So let's do that. Dead. Nothing hidden there, nothing hidden here, nothing hidden here. But what happens under here? What happens under here? We just come to the edge of this thing, obviously. But the mystery zone. There's a zone on here that's a mystery zone. It's this one right here. And what I don't know is what is this zone? It's the part that's right here behind her hand. It can't be her leg. Her leg runs here. This is below her leg. It's not her hand. It can't be her body. Her body can't be below her leg that far down. Is it a continuation of this zone, which is the background area here, up through there, or is it supposed to be another octopus? It could be, there's one tentacle here, one tentacle here. It could be this tentacle going through here. Did I carve it on that block? I don't remember. Let's have a look. I did. I put it on the tentacle block, so we're okay. I think I'll just leave it there. I presume that it's part of this tentacle here. They left it white on the original book. I think it makes no sense to be backward. So let's do that. Okay, I think we're okay. We're good to go. These yellow things don't last anything. Even if you use them or don't use them, they still wear out. Are there any forgotten areas? No, this is good. In here, up here, around. There's nothing here, nothing. There's no hidden areas in the middle, around the back. There's nothing down here. It could be tentacle, it could be rock, but it's not going to be background. I don't think at that point. There's no way the background can be up behind her at that point. So let's leave it off this one. Let's do this. Let's paste this down. Where's the new wood? This is not new wood. This is old wood. This is a piece of wood. From Ome, and it was originally prepared back when I was doing my Cinnamon albums. That would be back in 2005 or something. This is not, isn't it? Before I forget, we had a young man in the shop here. Not yesterday, I was in Omaha yesterday, 2 days ago. It must have been, what day is today, Friday? It must have been Wednesday, with a young man in the shop. He was here with his lady, he introduced himself, bought a print or two, I think. I didn't see that part. And then he mentioned that he's been watching the Twitch stream. And it turns out he has his own Twitch channel. So when I asked this, I said, what is it? What do you do? What's going on? And he said he's doing woodwork, wood turning, maybe just wood turning or woodwork in general, furniture and stuff. I don't really know exactly because he didn't talk too much about what he's doing. But anyway, it says he has a Twitch channel. And we were talking about this, what kind of cameras do you use and stuff like this. And he has like a 5-camera setup. A camera above the bench, a camera beside the bench, a camera on the tool, all kinds of stuff. And I asked him, when next time you're in the stream here, please post the link, post the URL, or post the name of your own Twitch channel, please, in here, because it'd be really fun to have a look at this. And I don't know if he's here this morning, and I asked him, what is your Twitch handle? And he said it quickly. I think it begins with an S, but I didn't even really actually catch it. Are you here this morning, sir? Please speak up. Paper is out of the freezer. Thank you. There are 5 packs out of the freezer today. I did it when I got out of the shower. You guys haven't been too good at reminding me about this recently. Okay, the wood here, it's an interesting piece. I've been keeping it for such an event as this. What we have here is a piece of wood that is really, really nice flat grain. I would die to be able to get this kind of wood these days. It's a color block flat, but the reason we didn't use it before, because on the back side, it is really quite a hard piece. It's a bit too hard to use for colors, so that's why it got pushed aside back then. It didn't work for it to keep it. But what we're going to do is, it's going to do for this background block on this print, and then I am going to carve the lettering for the octopus print on the other side, because it's nice and hard. But for now, that goes aside, and we're just going to use this beautiful, I don't even want to carve it, it's so nice. We just cannot get wood like this anymore, you know. It's to die for, absolutely to die for. I don't know when we're ever going to be able to get another selection of wood like this, no idea. So the thing we just did, and all we're going to use, this whole area here is going to be wasted. It's really a tragedy, you know. This whole beautiful block, all we're going to get out of it is really the top part here. And that will be, I think it'll be this side here. And there's a dot here, which we will put into the octopus's head. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, they're marginal, you know. They're marginal. Okay, John. You can see. That's why I'm not going to use my normal. I'm not going to use my little. I've got two. I've got my normal one here, and that pushes it a bit too far. That will put us too close to the edge. So I'm going to use a smaller one, like this. The lack of good wood is due to a lack of good carvers and print publishing, because there's so few woodblock prints being published these days, or in the past decades. The supply chain has disappeared. Back at the time I first came to Japan here in the late 1970s, early 1980s, there were lots of prints still being made, mostly reproductions, but lots of prints being made. So there was a supply chain there to provide wood. But that's no longer the case. The supply chain died. Okay, a tap here. Those of you who are new here, we're going to make a short, sharp bang. If you've got headphones on, it's a bit disrupting. So I'm going to put my chisel in here and make a very sharp tap. Just one tap. Headphones, be careful. 3, 2, 1. Actually, I'm going to tap it again. It didn't quite go in deep enough. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Ready to go down. For this one, because there's no fine lines on this, we can use our normal mucilage. We don't need a super strong wood glue for this. there's no delicate lines on this block, and the paper will stay stuck. Oops, last tissue. In the old days, before we were using a laminated paper like this, when you were using just thin Gampi paper all by itself to paste down, it was important to do this step. We don't do this anymore, but what I'm doing is putting mountains into the paste. The paste is all now in little mountains. And then what they did was, when they put the Gampi paper down, when they put the Gampi paper down, it touched everywhere. They rubbed in the middle, lifted it up, laid it down flat, lifted it up, laid it down flat. And because the paste was in mountains, the Gampi paper just sat on the top of the paste. If the paste was flat, it would stick and you're done. But because it was mountain, the Gampi paper laid delicately on the mountains. Then choop, 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 push it out flat. We don't need to do this anymore because the paper is strong and supported on its own backing sheet. So it just goes straight down all at once. Bang. Down in the middle, out, 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 out. And we're there. It's not going to move. But before we started doing it as a double layer sheet, it was tough. It was really delicate. So I shouldn't get people's hopes up too high, but we're actually getting close now to this Octopus print, towards the test printing stage, you know. Forgetting the calligraphy for a minute, which is going to take a rather long time. The key block is ready, the seaweed blocks are ready, the Octopus tone block is ready. And once this background one is done, which will really not be more than a few hours work, I'll be ready to start test printing. Now this next week, that's probably not going to happen because next week is insanely busy for us. We've got more parties in the next week scheduled than we have ever had before, even in the spring and autumn season. It's just almost totally sold out. There's so many people in Japan for the end of the year, and there's nothing for them to do. There's museums are closed, there's stuff, you know. So we're in really heavy demand this next week or so. And I'm short-staffed. It's basically just me and Kawai-san. He's a single guy, so he doesn't have family to hang around with. So there'll be no test printer this next week, but the 1st and 2nd, January 1st, January 2nd, when we're closed, I'm thinking that might be a good New Year project for me. Let's see. Now, what kind of peel are we going to get here? Just take the end thing off your hat. That always interferes with a good peel. Get a starting point here. Gentlemen, start your engines. Yesterday's peeling was funny underwater. All right, here we go. It's too big to hold, actually. We have got a good peel coming. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Here we go. Yoish! We should use that again. Well, what's the score? I can't say 10 out of 10 because I'd like to get a peel where you don't have this messed up part of the front. You know, I can't cut it away from the edge of the paper here and peel it. I've got to spoil a bit of it first at the edge here. So there should never be a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10 would be a perfect sheet of paper that had just come off the back. You know. But whatever. 99 out of 100, who knows. Look at this, isn't she beautiful? This is going to be such a fun print, you know. My God. I can't wait to start printing it. Can I still do this? I haven't done printing now. Production printing for years. This is not small stuff. Can I do this? The delicate hair, getting a nice black. I don't know. The current plan is I'll do the test printing myself because I really, really, really want to do this. And then there's been a fair amount of demand for this. I think if it turns out okay, I'll maybe do a batch myself, the first 50 or something I'll do myself. And then we'll turn it over to the crew. Sugi-san, Kubota-san, Yamamoto-kun. But I'm selfish, I'll do the first group myself. Now also, I want to be really careful with the back side here. I want to protect this back side. So let me, do I have a sheet of paper I can use to do that? Yeah, let me do this. Let me get some tape. Hang on a sec. if a little bit of wood gets under there, it'll scratch like crazy while we're hammering on the front side. So I'm going to seal it off really carefully. Okay. Soon to be retired. We're going to run the end of the year, and we're going to start a new one up the next year. In January, we'll see a new cloth. It's a bit silly to keep using this. It's totally silly. Okay, are we ready? You guys have all gone quiet, or the stream's down, one or the other. Who knows? Okay, let's do this. Where to start? Can't see there. Gets better. Real wood, eh? Real wood. So as if for these, I know, can we zoom in, I guess, now? For these, I know, the anemone things, what I'll do is I'll put the background block up to the edge of the rock here, and then I'll cut out the white patterns on the anemones. This background is going to be a pretty light color, I think. Where did that go? What you want to avoid is the white spots. If there's something that isn't on the skin and isn't the background and isn't the rocks or something, you end up with a white spot in the middle. So some of these, that area right there, for example, might already be on the stones. I don't know, so I'm going to cut it double. I'm going to put it here. And when we're test printing, areas like that that are doubled up will show up and we can trim them off. But the worst danger is having a white spot that isn't carved on either or any of the color blocks. You've seen that before. We posted about that on the blog when I had to fix one of the Hasui, one of the color blocks for a small Hasui reproduction. There was a white patch because it hadn't been included on any of the color blocks. That's the biggest danger with this part of the job. You're talking about the titles for this print. The original had no title at all. I know that's just something people have made up. It was just one page in a book. So the print wasn't specifically titled. Drop my pencil on the floor. Let's try this. This area will be hidden, actually. It's underneath her dark hair. This is the gray hair. There's darker hair coming on top of this. Do we need the background in her hair? Yeah, I think we do. I think what I'll do, I'll print the whole background color underneath all of her flowing hair, because if there was white spaces in the middle of this, it'll look funny. So we don't need the background under her head, but I'll leave the background under her hair. It's not going to be a deep dark color. It'll be something very light, so it won't show. It's my normal knife. I'm not sure if some looks different. I'm not zoomed in under the microscope, but that's my normal knife. As far as the ruler goes, it's, I know, sometimes yes, sometimes no. I know the general rule would be if there's sort of architectural elements in a print, if there's a building in there or something like that, it would look strange with wobbly lines. So the carvers will use a ruler, straight edge, when carving something like building lines and stuff like that, because they really look strange if they're wobbly. But any other straight lines inside a picture are done freehand. If they're all done with a ruler, it looks kind of just strange. It looks mechanical. But the outside edge here, this could have been done with a ruler. I know the problem, I don't have a good, nice wooden ruler. I know if you use a metal straight edge, you end up chipping your knife on a metal straight edge. So use a wooden one, a bamboo. But after a while, it gets little nicks, and it's not straight anymore. So you got to sort of, I don't know, refresh it now and then. And I don't have one at the moment. I really wish I'd been a bit more careful with that young man that was here the other day, talking about his woodwork channel on Twitch. I guess he's not here, he's traveling, of course. He'd be silly to sit here watching the stream while he's on vacation here. But if I get a minute, I'll try and find it. He's on Twitch, something to do with the creative or woodworking channels. And doing, I think it was wood turning, so if somebody can maybe help me find it, that'd be cool. But I'll try and have a look afterwards. There can't be all that many woodworkers on Twitch. I'm really curious. He said he had a really interesting camera setup. He's got a dedicated computer for the streaming, which I guess he built. He said he built the computer, and 5 cameras. So maybe we can learn something from this. I think we could certainly use another camera. When Cameron comes, for example, at the end of the stream, Cameron drops in, and we turn the camera on him. It would make more sense to have another camera that showed both he and I sitting here together. So we really could use one more camera on here. If my computer will handle it, I'm not quite sure. But a little more anemones. Where to come with the end of the color block here. Let's try cutting it off here. is nice wood. It's pleasure. I can feel already. You know, it's going to be really nice when we're doing the clearing. It's going to be good fun. Should be about time for Cameron to get here, right? Somewhere around now. Is he late again? Or the train's late? Or after we finish the stream here today, my job for the rest of the day is going to be sizing. I've got to get back upstairs. Because I went to Oma yesterday, I didn't have a chance to finish all the sizing that's required. I'm trying to keep up to the printers and they're really running ahead of me. Kanai-san, a young lady who lives at home, she's just working. She's maybe doing a major print once a week. She's doing about a hero's print, 60, 70, or 80 copies about once a week. She's really, really fabulous printer for us. Oh, here he is. Is it that cold? Oh my God, really?
It's chilly out there this morning.
Do you see what this guy's wearing? Maybe
Got a hood on.
got a hood on. Mr. Eskimo.
Yeah.
Seems like a fairly quiet stream this morning.
Yeah. And this is the new block you just brought,
Yes,
right?
the one I brought from Oma. It's really, really nice. It's such pleasure, you know. It's been sitting waiting for me since, I don't know, the early 2000s.
Oh, wow. So, plenty of time to
Season up
to
and
season,
get
yeah,
dried.
that's the word I wanted. Do you want the printing stuff here easily accessible? Should I get a new?
No, I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
Okay.
Thank you. That's what I did to make the transfer. So, sorry. Next, I should have.
No, that's fine. This is all from the print party you mentioned?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Before we sit down, can I ask one favor? I've run out of tissues here. Can you just pass me either a tissue box from there or something? I'll get another fresh one. But I've been sitting here waiting to blow my nose, waiting till you get here. Thanks.
The train rides.
Huh?
Nobody brings tissues onto the train.
Oh, it's all.
So the whole ride, just
yeah.
constant sniffling.
Yeah. I'm not sure which is worse for me in Japan. The noodle shop with the slurping or the trains with the sniffing. I don't know which is which.
Noodle slurping, grown accustomed to, but the sniffling is.
I still can't handle it. I'm sorry. It's my mistake. I know this is Japan. I should be able to do it, but I don't go in any ramen restaurant. I can't. I just can't handle it. The boys here, Koizumi-san and Kwai-san, they're so grotesque. I had to send them No, I've sent them upstairs. I will not allow that in the shop here at lunchtime. I've told them, do this upstairs. And they're like, this is Japan. I know it's Japan. I know the culture. I know I'm wrong, but I still can't
take it.
bear it. I can't bear it. There's actually a name for it. What is it? People that don't like enclosed spaces, agoraphobic or something.
Yeah.
And there's people that can't handle food noises when people, and I've got that in overpowering. And I'm in the wrong country.
I'm in the wrong country.
Whatever, I'm in the wrong country. There's John Becker. I love the slurping. Whatever, John.
I love the slurping. I wouldn't go that far.
No, whatever. Okay, let me get stuff out of the way. Hang on a sec. Let's see if we can get away with it.